Have you ever heard of tapping? Well, yeah, like tapping. But have you heard of tapping to help ease your anxiety? Yeah, it's a thing. And guess what? It works. So today on the Wellness Crew channel, we're going to be talking about what is tapping, why you do it, and how you do it. But before we do, go ahead and like and subscribe to our channel so that you can be in the know when any new videos are uploaded. So what is tapping? Well, tapping is a way of accessing different pressure points, acupressure points on the body to help you ease any sort of feeling of anxiety, stress, overwhelm, anger, any unwanted emotion that you might be feeling. Tapping is also known as EFT. This is Emotional Freedom Technique. And what it is it's where you access these acupressure points and you attach it to an unwanted emotion. So let's say that I'm going into a meeting and I'm really nervous about it. I'm about to present something that I've been working on for a really long time. There's a lot of pressure, it's high stakes, right? Well, you're feeling that overwhelm, you're feeling that stress. So you would attach a phrase such as, I'm feeling overwhelmed and anxious, and even though I feel this way, I accept and love myself. So you figure out what your phrase is, and then you start your tapping. There are 9 meridian points that we tap on, and it doesn't matter what side of the body you do it on, you just start, right? And it starts with your hand, and then you move up to your face, down under your nose, your chin, your chest, along the side of your body, and then at the top of your head. And as you're tapping these different points, you're saying these words in your head or aloud, affirming how you're feeling. But why does this work? It seems kind of crazy, it seems weird, but I'll tell you, it really has the power to reduce overwhelm by actually reducing the levels of cortisol in your body. Cortisol is the stress hormone. So whenever we are in a high stakes or a high pressure situation, your amygdala in your brain fires up. The amygdala was there and has been with us for the dawn of time, right? And it was designed to help cue your fight or flight response. However, these days, we don't have tigers and lions and all kinds of crazy animals coming after us where we need to access that fight or flight. So that amygdala turns on, cortisol floods the body, right, to help us flee out of these unwanted situations, these unwanted emotions, and then we're feeling really scared, right, and we're running away. And when you are in a meeting that's overwhelming, you don't want to run away, right? You need to be there. We need to be present. And not only do you need to be present and aware of what's going on, we need to be calm. So in order to access that part of calm, that's where tapping comes in, as we start to send these responses, right? By touching those acupressure points and saying to ourselves, yes, I feel this way. I feel terrible. I feel angry. I feel stressed out. But then the pressure points allow you, when you're tapping them, to disassociate from that feeling. It eases the cortisol, which eventually goes away, and you're able to feel calm. So why do we do tapping? Well, tapping is a powerful stress relief technique that has been around for a few decades now. It's also attached with ancient Chinese medicine and modern psychology. So we do it because stress is probably one of the biggest epidemics of the 21st century, right? And what happens when you're stressed is your immune system is suppressed. It's lowered. Cortisol, that hormone we were talking about a little while ago, increases inflammation and lowers your immune response because it shuts everything down in your body and allows you to flee, right? To get out of bad, sticky situations. But we need our health to be optimum, right? We want it to be at its peak. And so the first thing we need to do is relieve any type of stress that's coming into our body and allowing ourselves to be as calm and present in normal day-to-day stressful situations where we're not fleeing a tiger, right? So when would you try tapping? Well, you might feel uncomfortable doing it in front of other people. So if that is uncomfortable to you, find a spot where you are alone, right? So at the beginning of the day, if you know that you have a meeting coming up or you know you have a particular stressful thing that's going on today, start your day with an episode of tapping. You can also do it in your car before you transition from one place to the next. For me, the first time I tried tapping was actually in an office with a friend of mine who gifted me a session. It attached to another type of session that we can talk about later. However, it was a compliment to what we were doing. And I thought she was kind of crazy when she asked me to do it with her. What is this? What is this tapping thing, right? But at the time, I was going through a particularly stressful transition in my life where I wasn't sure if I was making the right decision. And as soon as we started doing it, I first of all felt a little uncomfortable because of what we were doing, right? It felt funny. There was even some laughter. But each session, each round of tapping that we did brought up a whole new flood of emotions for me. And by the end of it, I felt so calm and relaxed. I looked at her and asked, what voodoo did you just do on me? Because that was out of this world crazy. And the most simple thing you could ever do to help ease the way you're feeling. So that was my experience. After that, now I have it in my back pocket to use whenever I'm feeling stressed out. So where do we tap? Well, there are 9 acupressure points that we tap on, and they begin with the side of your hand, kind of like the karate chop side. And you can use 2 fingers, 3 fingers, whatever feels most comfortable to you, and as hard or soft as feels comfortable to you as well. So you start by tapping on the side of your hand. Doesn't matter which side you tap on, you just pick a side and start tapping. So you start tapping right on the side. Then you move to the part right where your eyebrows meet on your forehead, and you can tap. And you can do your face with 2 hands, or you can do one side. And then you follow the eyebrow over to the side of your eye, to that bone, not on your temple, but on the bone, and you tap right here. And then you follow that bone down, and you go underneath the eye. Next, you're going to go to that spot right underneath the nose and above your upper lip, and you tap. You can tap like this. You can also tap like that with the sides of your fingers. After you do here, you're going to go under your lip in this crease between your lip and your chin, and you tap. Then we go down to your breastbone. So right underneath under that U, you can either go 1 inch down and 2 inches over and go underneath right there, or you can take your whole hand and tap on your chest like this. Okay. After this part, you're going to go to about 1 hand's distance under where your armpit is. For women, we have our bra strap, or right where the bra strap is, up here. Once you're done with that, you go to the top of your head, and this is the last point that we tap at. Now, when you're tapping, you also assign a phrase to your tapping. So you think of something that is an emotion of how you're feeling that's unwanted, right? So you want to become really clear about how you're feeling in your body, because this is a mind and body exercise. So you assign a phrase with your tapping. And when you start at your karate chop tap, the very first one, that's where you say your phrase 3 times before moving over to the other points. For instance, your phrase is, even though I am angry and upset that my coworker disappointed me, I still love and accept myself. So you would tap and say, even though I'm angry and disappointed at my coworker, I still love and accept myself, right? Or I love and accept myself. So you would say that 3 times. And then you notice how you're feeling regarding all those emotions. So you would start. Then you go to the next one and say, I'm upset. I'm feeling angry. And it's just like you're talking to a friend, right? And although sometimes we want to say these things in our heads and not out loud, I encourage you to try saying them out loud as you do these techniques and as you practice, because it makes it even more powerful. Think of affirmations, right? The difference between affirmations and this is that you are simultaneously sending signals to the brain that although you do feel a negative emotion, you're tapping these pressure points, which is telling the amygdala, calm down. It's all good, right? And so you're detaching that unwanted feeling with what's happening hormonally in your body. It's a really powerful technique, and especially these days with the pandemic that we're experiencing, the multiple surges, the ups and downs, right? The overwhelm, the uncertainty. The last thing that we want is for our immune system to be suppressed. And the biggest way to suppress your immune system is by staying in this stressed out space. So try tapping morning, noon, night, whenever you have a chance to keep your immunity high, right? Boost your immunity, and also to keep your stress levels down. I hope that this was a valuable tool for you and that you'll give it a try. Join me in the next video where Jen joins me and I lead her through her very first tapping session.